In today's video, I'm going to share with you my favorite things to do in the Atlanta area. Coming up right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to Living in Atlanta. Today we are going to talk about my absolute favorite things to do in the Atlanta, Georgia area. If you're planning to visit here or you're moving here and you need some ideas of some fun things to do, these are my personal favorite things to do after having lived here for 15 years. And as always, if you need a fantastic real estate agent who knows Atlanta better than anyone and has a lot of experience, I would love if you gave me a call. You can book a Zoom call with me, you can call me on my cell, email me, whatever you want to do, but I absolutely love it when my viewers become clients. Alright, so today we're going to talk about my favorite things to do in the Atlanta, Georgia area. There is a lot of fun things to do here. Obviously, major metropolitan city. You're going to have all the typical things that are associated with living in a big city, but you're also going to have some wonderful activities, particularly outdoor related activities in the South, in a very green, nature-rich state like Georgia. So today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite things to do in Atlanta. Alright, so coming in at number 5 on my list, this is in no particular order, it's shooting the hooch. Now, if you live in Atlanta long enough, it's a rite of passage. You have to shoot the hooch. Of course, the Chattahoochee River runs all through Atlanta, really through the state of Georgia, and it's one of the best amenities for Atlantans to enjoy. Now, for the locals, they'll probably scoff and tell you it's dirty, you don't want to go in there, but at the same time, around the 4th of July, the whole city's out in the hooch, on a float, drinking a beer. So even though the locals might not be that excited about it, it is a great thing to have in your backyard. Whether you're just going to Land of a Thousand Hills, which is right on the banks of the hooch and chilling out and watching it, or you're going all the way down to Columbus, Georgia to the Whitewater Park and enjoying that. The hooch is extremely long and has a lot of different entry points, a lot of different places that you can enjoy it, and a lot of different scenes and configurations for you to enjoy. So it doesn't look the same in each place. It does have some actual serious whitewater for those of you who are really into canoeing or whitewater kayaking. But for most of us, in particular those of us inside the perimeter, the hooch is going to be great to hop on, kind of in the Vinings area. There's a really easy little stretch there where you can set shuttle, rent a float, and just be carefree. Obviously, when it gets hot outside, everyone's looking for that refuge in water. So the hooch is a fantastic amenity to have, and there's multiple ways you can enjoy it throughout the state. All right, coming in at number 4, I have going to an Atlanta United game. Now, there's plenty of professional sports teams in the Atlanta area. I think Atlanta United is the best experience for going out a night in the town, enjoying a game for a couple reasons. Number 1, it's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is a newer stadium closer to downtown. It's really nice. It's a really cool atmosphere. It's comfortable. Everything is new and shiny. You can see the field from no matter where you're sitting. So Mercedes-Benz is always a great experience, whether it's a United game or a Taylor Swift concert, whatever it is. Any venue held there is typically going to be very high quality. But the other big reason is just soccer games are fantastic. First of all, 90 minutes, more than most sports, you can kind of set your watch to it. Of course, it's going to vary a little bit, but it doesn't really drag on like a baseball or football game does. So for those of us who like to keep a schedule, soccer is very convenient. And Atlanta United is a very popular team in Atlanta. The city has really gotten behind this team. They've won the championship before. So the crowd is always going nuts. There's a lot of pride. There's always people decked out in Atlanta United gear, doing the chants, waving the banners. It's just overall a fantastic experience. Now, of course, the Braves games are also great to go see at the Battery. That's in the Smyrna area, which is further to the northwest. That's a fantastic experience as well. So if you have a chance to see a Braves game, SunTruist Park is beautiful. The Battery is a great place for a night out on town. But personally, if you're looking for a sports event, whether you're visiting or living here, I would recommend you start off with an Atlanta United game. All right, number 3 on my list of my favorite things to do in the Atlanta area would be walk the BELTLINE. Now, there's a million different ways you can make a day out of hanging out on the BELTLINE. It's a 27-mile loop. It's not completely finished, but there's different approaches, kind of like you're going to hike a trail. There's different trails you can take. Probably the most common one is going to be on the east side from Inman Park to the Midtown area in Piedmont Park. You can start at Piedmont Park and come down towards Inman, or vice versa. There's Krog Street Market. Closer towards Inman Park is actually in the Edgewood area. So there's a lot of amenities right off the BELTLINE. So whether you want to start in the park and have a picnic and then do some walking and finish off at a restaurant or at a bar, or if you want to start at the restaurant or bar and then, do some tipsy walking or biking and then hang out at the park, you can really make a day out of it however you want. But especially if it's nice outside, if the sun is shining, most of the city is going to be on the BELTLINE, especially on the weekend. Great for people watching and sightseeing, but also obviously just for being outside, getting some exercise, and being able to cover a lot of ground, right? We are a sprawled out city. This is the reason why the BELTLINE is so popular, even though it's just a paved trail, because you can now walk from Piedmont Park to Inman Park probably faster than you can drive it when there's bad traffic. So it's connected the city in a way it hasn't been connected before. And all along the BELTLINE, there's wonderful restaurants and bars, depending on which section we're talking about. You could do the East Side Trail near Inman Park. I'm also a huge fan of the West Side Trail near the Lee and White development, where you've got a ton of breweries, distilleries over on that side on the west end. You can walk south towards Peoplestown, where I'm at. And then, of course, there's other sections of the BELTLINE as well, up towards, the Morningside Lenox Park area. So the BELTLINE is vast. You can decide which kind of chunk you want to break off for the day. But if it's a beautiful day, you want to be outside, you want to do some walking, some picnicking, some restaurant and bar hopping, you definitely want to plan your day around the BELTLINE. All right, coming in at number 2 on my list, I have MIDTOWN Extravaganza. Now again, you can take this a lot of different ways. This is really good if you only have a few days in town and you want to kind of hit all the greatest hits in Atlanta. Maybe you have a date that you want to really impress, or an anniversary for a special occasion. MIDTOWN is probably a great place to focus. Now, I'm just going to touch on some really popular things to do in MIDTOWN, give you some ideas, and of course, you can formulate your day however you want. But here is what I would try to see. This might be a lot for one day. You might do it over 2 days, but I'm just going to throw some things out there. You've got the Fox Theater, fantastic venue to catch a comedy show or a screening of a movie or some kind of play. So if there's something that you're really interested in at the Fox that is in MIDTOWN, fantastic venue. There's the High Museum, which is probably my favorite museum in Atlanta. Contemporary art from all different types of artists and timelines. So fantastic museum, again, right in MIDTOWN. So maybe you start your day off in the afternoon at the High, and then you go catch a show at the Fox Theater at night. That could be a really fun, filled, packed day for you. Of course, Piedmont Park is in MIDTOWN, so you can combine all this stuff with a picnic at Piedmont Park, maybe walking a little bit on the BELTLINE. Ponce City Market is right there. So all these activities are kind of in the MIDTOWN area. So you can make your day of whatever you want to do, whether you want to spend some time in the park, whether you just want to walk around the commercial district. But there's the High, there's Fox Theater, there's Piedmont Park. There's, of course, a lot of high-end restaurants in the MIDTOWN area. So you can book a reservation at a great restaurant like Lila maybe, which has great reviews, and you can incorporate that into your day hanging around MIDTOWN. There's also Claremont Lounge. If you find yourself out late at night, you're not done partying, you want to keep the party going, the iconic spot is Claremont Lounge, which has a strip club in the basement part of it that is, a destination for pretty much everyone who visits Atlanta. There's now a really nice restaurant at the Claremont Hotel that you can enjoy. So if you are going on with your night, you don't feel like you're ready to let the party die, Claremont Lounge is an iconic Atlanta spot that you can finish your night up at. But I just gave you some touchstones in the MIDTOWN area that you can all hit, with a few Ubers, not too much distance to cover. So that would make for a packed day or 2 days just hitting some of those landmarks in the MIDTOWN Atlanta area. All right, and the last idea I have on my list, again, this wasn't in any order, would be a food crawl, either along Buford Highway or Duluth, or both, okay? Now, I think the best cuisine, the best food in the Atlanta area can be found on Buford Highway. You'll hear me talk about it a lot. You can follow me on TikTok if you want to get ideas for restaurants that you want to visit. I do food reviews on TikTok if you're not following me there already. But Buford Highway has a huge mix of Asian and Latin American restaurants, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Mexican, Peruvian, so many different cultures, more than I can name in one video, but good, cheap eats, affordable eats, great value, authentic to the culture, fantastic place. If you're just coming here looking to gorge yourself and go from place to place, do a Buford Highway crawl, okay? You can get coffee and pastries at White Windmill, you can go to Lansdowne Ramen, you can go to, Yokohama Sushi at night. Again, follow me on TikTok for restaurant ideas, but you can hit like 4 or 5 different cuisines in one day, obviously have tons of leftovers, but it's a great place for a restaurant crawl. And I mentioned Duluth, right? So Buford Highway does go up into Duluth, but also Duluth itself is just known for being a mecca, especially for Asian food, which if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of. So, I could spend all day in Duluth, just going from restaurant to restaurant, maybe going to Jeju Spa, somewhere in the middle. But yeah, if you're just coming here to eat, there's some good restaurants in the city, especially in the higher end, but I always say there's not really good cheap eats in the city of Atlanta. There's not that good value that you find. If you want to eat a lot for not a lot of money, if you want to gorge yourself on authentic foreign cuisine, go for a food crawl along Buford Highway or Duluth. You won't regret it. So there you have it, y'all. 5 of my favorite things to do in the Atlanta area. Of course, there are so many other fantastic things to do. These were just a few ideas. There's some of my favorite things to do. Other people like to go clubbing and they like to go to strip clubs, which Atlanta is well known for. They like to go dancing. I don't really do those things, so I can't really speak on them, but Atlanta's a great city. You're not gonna run out of things to do. In the city, you've got everything city-like, bars, clubs, restaurants, of course, but then there's great nature outside of the city. The Chattahoochee, all the parks and forests and green spaces. It's a nature's lover's paradise as well. So just to get you some ideas of some things to do if you're going to be visiting or living here, I really hope that was helpful. If you need more recommendations, you can reach out to me. Drop some comments on some topics that you want to see me talk about. I feel like I talk about the same things a lot. So if there's something that you haven't seen me speak about that you're interested in, comment below. But thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until my next video, I'll see you next time.